This drama depicts the king of the kingdom of Mantrapura's search for a state emblem that has been missing for 70 years. The constitution of the kingdom states that whoever possesses the emblem will rule the country. The palace has been looking for the emblem for decades because it does not want it to fall into the hands of the wrong people. However, a spell has been cast on the emblem, and only a special person from far away will be able to guide the palace to it. Here are the casts and the characters they play. Pimchanak, Luvasad Paybol, Bifern, Az, Nuanukeo Norakad, Nuan, a fashion designer. She is a strong and outspoken woman who visits the kingdom of Mantrapura upon learning that her sister, Nilapat, is going to marry a prince, Prince Chaitat, there. There, she is greeted by another prince, Prince Kirij, whom her first impression of is that of a serious and arrogant person. As a foreigner, she faces cold reception from Prince Chayathat's mother, Queen Sasiprafai, who strongly opposes her son marrying her sister. Strange occurrences that happen to her there lead the both princes to believe that she is that special person who will lead them to the kingdom's long-lost emblem. Initially skeptical of the prince's narrative, she, however, agrees to join their quest to find the emblem upon being persuaded and informed of its significance by Prince Kirij. As they work closely together on the mission, she soon finds herself developing feelings for Prince Kirij. Believing Prince Kirij shares similar affections, she expects him to disclose his feelings, only to unconsciously reveal her own emotions to him. As the special person chosen by the prince's great-grandmother, the late great Queen Sarita, she receives subtle hints from the Queen's spirit through her dreams. The hints eventually lead her and Prince Kirij to a collection of the late Queen Sarees, where further clues are found. As their mission progresses, their lives are endangered by an influential and cruel man who is also after the emblem. As the mission approaches its final stage, she remains hopeful that Prince Kirij will express his feelings to her but is disheartened as he continues to remain silent. Thorn Jindashot, Sean, Az, Prince Kirij McDermott Wirentra, son of King Chinaran, a doctor. Even though he is the son of King Chanaran, he is not accorded royal status but is regarded as an unofficial prince due to his mother being a foreigner. He has been searching for the lost emblem all his life and is motivated to continue his efforts with the appearance of Nuan. Believing that Nuan is the person chosen by his great-grandmother to lead him to the emblem, he embarks on the mission to find it. Working closely with Nuan, he gradually develops affection for her but refrains from expressing his feelings due to his commitment to his kingdom. He has pledged to assist Prince Chaitat in ruling their kingdom in the future. Additionally, he does not wish to impose the palace's strict rules on a woman like Nuan, who values freedom. As his mission continues, his team faces danger when hunted by Kadjit, a wicked man who is also after the emblem. Unbeknownst to him, his team is being protected by the spirit of his great-grandmother, Queen Sarita, who watches over them from afar. Nevertheless, when he finally locates the emblem, the divine protection comes to an end, leaving his team to fend off Kadjit's threats themselves. Witaya Teptip, Kong, Az, Prince Chai Tetwirentra, son of King Chai Naran and Queen Sasiprafai. Having fallen in love with Nilapat while studying abroad, he returns to his kingdom to marry her. However, he faces strong objections from his mother, Queen Sasiprafai, who wants him to marry Sawitri, the daughter of an influential man, Kadjit, who the monarchy is heavily dependent on. He does, however, have the support of his father, King Chanaran, who dislikes Kadjit and has no reservations about accepting Nilapat. Upon realizing the challenges Nilapat may face in the palace in the future, he is ready to cancel the wedding if Nilapat is not prepared for it. Deeply touched by Nilapat's decision to face the challenges ahead with him, he vows to protect her at all costs. Despite strong objections from his mother, he is adamant about marrying Nilapat, willing to go as far as renouncing his prince status if that is what it takes for him to marry Nilapat. His adamant stance eventually softens his mother's objections, leading her to issue a royal edict ere Nilipat and Sawitri must compete to marry her son. Even though he does not join Prince Kirij's mission, he is ready to confront Kadjit and Sawitri when Nilipat and his palace are under threat by the duo. Amrawadi Kaba Les. Richi. As Nilipat, younger sister of Nuan. Upon her arrival at the palace, she is confronted with the harsh reality of the truth. The queen greets her coldly, expressing opposition to her marriage to Prince Chaithat, while Sawitri, an aspiring future queen, shows hostility as she also desires to marry the prince. Despite her sister Nuan's attempts to talk her out of marrying the prince, she insists on doing so and is prepared for the strict palace life. She is required by the queen to undergo training and compete with Sawitri on palace customs, with the victor standing a chance to marry the prince. As she begins to make progress in her training, she is sabotaged by the overconfident Sawitri, halting not only her progress but also putting her life at risk. Upon realizing that her decision to marry the prince has caused problems to many people and the palace, she decides to leave for good. Cathalia McIntosh. As Queen Sasiprafai. She strongly objects to her son marrying Nilipat and instead wants him to marry Sawitri, daughter of a businessman, Kadjit. She worries that offending the powerful Kadjit, who wields significant control over the palace and the kingdom's budget, will affect the welfare of her subjects. After trying in vain to dissuade Prince Chaithat from abandoning his plan to marry Nilipat, she instructs both Nilipat and Sawitri to undergo training and compete in a series of palace customs. The one who emerges victorious and is able to produce the missing emblem will marry the prince. Due to her fear of going against the wicked Kadjit, her husband, Prince Chainaran, who runs covert operations not only to find the emblem but also to confront Kadjit, keeps his activities hidden from her, leading to her fury when she eventually discovers the truth. As she begins to see the true colors of Sawitri, she sees Sawitri in her old self where she, too, used unethical ways to remove Prince Kirij's foreigner mother from the palace in the past. Filled with remorse, she eventually accepts Nilipat and joins forces with her husband's team against Sawitri and Kadjit. Polalawat Manuprazert. Tom. As King Chai Naran. He is a compassionate king who prioritizes the well-being of his subjects, but his efforts are hampered by a lack of resources and support from his royal council. The real person in control of the country is the wicked Kadjit, who has the support of members of the royal council which makes decisions. He gives his blessing to Prince Chaithat and Nilipat but opposes his wife's desire for the prince to marry Sawitri, as this would strengthen Kadjit's power. He is the leader of Mantrapura Blood Warrior, which mission is to restore Mantrapura's once prosperous kingdom. He keeps the existence of the group from his wife, Queen Sasiprafai, as her fear of offending Kadjit may hinder the group's plans. When he eventually discloses his secret operations to her, he convinces her to join him in the fight against Kadjit to restore the glorious past of their kingdom. Pantila Win. Pansiri Tanashat. Lily. As Sawitri Pasutha. Daughter of an unscrupulous businessman, Kadjit. Having always imagined herself marrying Prince Chaithat and becoming the future queen of Mantrapura, she is furious upon learning that the prince has chosen to marry Nilipat. In her attempts to thwart the prince's marriage plan, she enlists the help of Nalini, the queen's personal assistant. As she is no stranger to the palace, she beams with confidence when the queen instructs her and Nilipat to compete in palace customs in order to marry the prince. However, to her dismay, the queen also requires the potential bride to present the long-lost emblem before marrying the prince. Feeling threatened as Nilipat begins to show great progress in her training, she resorts to sabotage, rendering Nilipat unable to continue and risking her life. Additionally, she pressures her father, Kadjit, to find the emblem before Prince Kirij and Nuan do. When her despicable acts are eventually exposed to the queen and disqualified from the competition, she decides to disobey the queen's instructions altogether. Supported by her father, Kadjit, and disregarding all the royal protocols, she plans to confront the queen and the palace directly. Billy Ogan as Kadjit Pasutha. A wealthy and influential but unscrupulous businessman, father of Sawitri. He controls key sectors of the kingdom's economy, placing personal gain ahead of public welfare. As a result, he wields considerable power over members of the palace council, who make government decisions, enact laws, and set the palace's annual budget. Expecting his daughter, Sawitri, to marry Prince Chaitat to strengthen his power, he is furious upon learning that the prince has chosen to marry Nilapat instead. To fulfill one of the queen's conditions for his daughter to marry the prince, he spies on Prince Kirij for clues to find the royal emblem. However, all the efforts by his men to find the emblem before Prince Kirij mysteriously fail. Upon learning that the spirit of the late Queen Sarita has been hampering his men's efforts while protecting Prince Kirij's team, he engages a shaman to confront Queen Sarita's spirit. Patarapan Tion Ron as Wiram. Loyal assistant of Prince Kirij. He is a loyal assistant of Prince Kirij and also a member of the king's Mantrapura blood warrior group who is willing to sacrifice his life for the sake of his country. Joining Prince Kirij on his risky mission to find the emblem, he is instructed to protect Nuan at all costs. Samfu Asamet Thankun Tawan as Manach. Loyal assistant of Prince Kirij, brother of Wiram. Pimpan Cha Lahayanakup. Pim as Great Queen Sarita. Great-grandmother of Prince Kirij and Prince Chaitat. Preventing the prized emblem of her kingdom from being confiscated by the British upon its independence, she wrested the emblem and had it hidden somewhere in the forest. She cast a spell so that only a special person from afar could assist the kingdom in finding the emblem in the future. She was a noble queen when she was alive. She had chosen Nuan to be the special person who will guide the future king to the emblem. Her spirit gives hints and clues to Nuan by appearing in her dreams, watching, and protecting Prince Kirij and his team from afar. Clot Athasiri as Uncle Ray. He is well versed in the history of his kingdom who is convinced that Nuan is that special person who will guide the kingdom to long-lost emblem. Joining Prince Kirij's mission, he sees Nuan's presence in the palace not as a coincidence but as destiny, meant to help the kingdom. Natha Lloyd as Illa. A senior royal servant who is one of the members of the king's Mantrapura blood warrior group. Acharya Podi Pipatanakarn. Prim as Nalani. Personal servant of Queen Sasiprafai who secretly helps out Sawitri. Arnatafel Siri Chamsang as Arun. Kadjit's right-hand man, whose efforts against Prince Kirij are often thwarted by the spirit of Queen Sarita. Pimlapas Jungsura as Nalanda. A royal servant serving Nilapat and Nuan. Natchaya Mungnimit. Donut as Mani. Sawitri's servant. Wanchai Pawibun. Toy as Arayan. One of royal council members who sides with Kadjit. Chalad Na Songkla as Manus. A shaman hired by Kadjit to confront Queen Sarita spirit. Kunakorn Kurdpan. Ko as Norakad. Father of Nuan and Nilapat, a former ambassador. Suprani Jaranpan. Kai as Mathani. Mother of Nuan and Nilapat. Chayaporn Olivier Pupat as King Narayan. Husband of Queen Sarita, father of Prince Sarangi, great-grandfather of Prince Kirij and Prince Chaidat. Pech Boranin. as Prince Saree, son of Queen Sarita and King Narayan. Credit to Thai 131 channel. Thank you for watching.